Hello and welcome back to my channel. The kids are going back to school and I get a lot of questions about lunch boxes, packed meals. So I'm going to make a vegetarian Kathi roll combined with Mexican burritos. That burrito style but with Indian flavors. Let's get cooking. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell button so you get a notification, and it's a really simple dish. You can kind of use lots of things. I will tell you in the video what you can replace things with, how you can make different flavor combinations. Let's get cooking. I'm going to start with the dough. Now you can use just chapati flour or you can mix it up. So I am using 200 grams of chapati flour, and then in that I'm mixing 200 grams of plain flour, which is maida or all-purpose. And then I'm going to add just half a teaspoon of salt, a little bit of seasoning, that's all we need. And then, as always, I'm going to slowly add the water. I don't need to tell you how much because, as always, with flatbreads, add little at a time, mix it up, and basically you stop adding when you get a nice soft dough. And you really don't need a stand mixer or anything for this. You can use it, but you don't need it because it's not hard work, this one. You can see I've got quite a lot of dough. You can just half the quantity. The good thing is once you've made the dough, you can make fresh wraps or rotis for up to 4 days. So just put it in a fridge, in a box with a lid, and then use it when you need it. I'm starting with the dough because I'm going to let this rest for however long it takes for me to make the filling, which should be less than half an hour. Make sure to put a lid on. So I'm going to start the filling by just chopping up a couple of onions as finely as you can. So a hot pan and 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil goes in. Then I'm going to add the onions once the oil is hot. Going to start with a teaspoon of cumin seeds. Next goes in the onions. I want them lightly brown, so I'm going to give this 6 to 7 minutes. I'll keep a close eye anyways. And in the time that this is cooking, I'm going to chop up a couple of garlic cloves and a little piece of ginger and a small chili. Once you kind of start getting it nice and golden, I'll give it 2 more minutes. I'll add a few more things to this. Half a teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon chili powder, half a teaspoon salt, a good heaped tablespoon of ground coriander. Now mix. Now reduce the heat to lowest. Now I'm going to add 100 grams of yogurt. You could use natural, you could use Greek yogurt, and then I'm going to continuously stir this. Don't stress if it splits, it doesn't matter. Just going to give it a minute like this. Now increase the heat a little bit. Now let this cook for a minute while I chop up some paneer. I have got here 220 grams block of paneer. Just gonna cut it into small cubes, smaller than what I usually add. Right, so once you've added this, mix the yogurt and now let this cook for 5 minutes before we add other bits to it. And while that's cooking, I'm also going to drain a jar of black beans. You could use red kidney beans, black beans, white beans, whatever you like, but yeah, black beans goes really well with this dish. Adding this, it could be 400-500 grams of beans you can add to this, and the paneer. Now I've added a lot of beans, so I'm going to add another half a teaspoon of salt. Also half a teaspoon of black pepper. All that's left to do is increase the heat and then give it a good mix and cook this for 5 minutes. If you were making this as a curry, you would add water to this, but we are using it as a filling, so we are going to not add any water to this. Give it 5 minutes to kind of heat up, everything nicely warmed up. I'm going to leave this to one side and start rolling the wraps. Just going to prepare a very quick salad to go inside the wrap as well. It's so mixed up, from burrito to kathi roll to wrap. Keep switching from one term to another, but you can call it anything you like. Just roughly chop some cucumber. Definitely want some spring greens. I love them in a salad. Quick wash before chopping it in. A little bunch of fresh coriander and some red chili, and a little tomato goes in there too. Bit of pepper, bit of salt, lemon juice, lime juice, whatever you have at home. Mix. Salad's ready, filling's ready. Now wraps. Clean surface, flour, and now I'm gonna tell you how many these are gonna make. I'm not making them all, but I can tell you how much 400 grams does actually make. Move it here, right? So, because you want kind of largish wraps so that it can hold all the filling. So that's going to make 8, around 8. So I'm just going to do 2 at the moment. Okay. And then flour and rolling pin. Oh, let me turn the hob on as well with a nice flat pan. Don't worry too much about the shape. It's all going to roll over, roll up, wrap up, so shape doesn't matter too much. Yeah, that seems like a good size. It's got to be around 10 inches, I think. So the pan, whether you use tawa, flat pan, frying pan, it needs to be really nice and hot. Now I'm not going to cook the kind of wrap completely because it needs to be pliable, foldable. So just a little bit on each side, not like I make the roti, I cook it completely. I'm just going to give it a few seconds on each side. It's taken a bit longer than a few seconds, to be honest. So once it starts to bubble up, as you can see, it's a sign that it's almost ready to turn. So you don't want it completely cooked. This is enough cooking on one side. So a bit more on the other side, and I'm going to cook the second one as well. And then I'll fill it up and show you what to do next. Okay, that's done. Take it off. It should be foldable is all I'm trying to say. It's the second one. That's it, done. Last couple of things to prepare. I have got some cheddar. Just take a handful. At the moment, I'm only grating the cheese for 2 wraps because that's something you would do when you're freshly making stuff. I am going to get a little bit of mayo. To this, I'm going to add some homemade chili garlic chutney. You can add chili oil, you can add something else you like. It's your choice. You can just use mayo as well, by the way. What do you want? Now I'll bring our wrap. Time to assemble. So I have got here our lovely soft wrap. I'm gonna put a little bit of mayo. So my problem is I like to fill everything, whether it's sandwiches or something, right to the edge. So this is like to stop myself from doing that. Now I have got our lovely beanie paneer filling. Yum. It's still nice and hot. So you can prepare all the elements separately beforehand and make the wrap ready for your lunch or whatever, dinner or pack lunch before you leave the house. Now I'm going to add some cheese. And now this salad. See? I like it nice and full, stuffed up right to the edges. Okay, now is the moment of truth. Okay, so I am gonna try and look, the wrap is not cracking at all because it's so moldable, soft. I'm going to get the same pan nice and hot again. Now once the pan is nice and hot, I'm just going to spread a little butter here. 1 second. Then hopefully, no, stop. Pretty annoying. Never mind. It doesn't need long at all. Oh, yum. Do want to definitely mention that crisping it up is completely optional. It tastes amazing even without crisping it up. Probably for lunch you don't need to crisp it up, but it does add flavor, so I prefer it. But if you don't want to, you have that option as well. Moment of truth, people. Isn't that beautiful? I'm eating it now. You can have it for your lunch, dinner, whatever you like. And here is your beanie wrap toasty burrito thing ready. Okay guys, here is the wrap. Here is the wrap ready. Obviously, I didn't wrap it up in foil because I am going to eat it now because it's my lunchtime and I work from home. So there. So this is great because it tastes amazing at room temperature, which you have to remember when you are cooking something for lunchbox. You know, you're not going to eat it immediately. So whatever you're serving should taste good at room temperature. Not everyone has a microwave, you know, at work, especially not the kids. So I'm sure my kids will love this. And now it's time to eat. Wow, there's crunch from the salad. By the way, you can just have that bean paneer with roti. I've got so much tidying up to do. Okay, so that wrap is delicious. Whether you stuff it with this or something else, those wraps are good. And the cheese gives that cheesiness. Guys, please try this. Let me know your thoughts. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I go through and read all your comments. I try and reply to them as many as I can. So yeah, enjoy, and I'll see you back for another new recipe very soon. This is delicious. Vegetarian as well. Enjoy. Bye. Superb.